Number 14. Denise rounded 1.548 to 1.5. To which place did she round the decimal? Okay, so we start with 1.548. And we want to end up with 1.5 by rounding. If I were to round to the nearest ones place, that would end up 2 decimal. You could leave those zeros off, but it certainly wouldn't end up 1.5. So that's not it. So now let's try it. So we know it's not this. So now we're going to try rounding to the nearest tens. Remember 4 or less, let it rest. So we're going to let the 5 rest. And this becomes zeros. Isn't this the same answer? Because remember, you don't need the zeros. Zeros on the end of a decimal number don't change it. So really my answer is 1.5. Isn't that what I wanted? Yes. So really what we did was we rounded the nearest tenth. Now if you want to go back, we probably should go ahead and check these just to make sure you understand why hundredths doesn't work. When you round to the nearest hundredth, you say you're underlining the hundredths place and looking at the thousandths place. We're rounding to the hundredths, so we circled the 8 in the thousandths place. 5 or more, raise the score, so that means this 4 has to become a 5. Everything in front stays the same, and that's a 0. Of course, you can leave the 0 off because it's the end of a decimal number, but the rounded answer is 1.55, which is not what we wanted. Remember, we wanted 1.5. So it wasn't rounding to the nearest hundredths. Get rid of that. So now let's just see what happens when you round to the nearest thousandths. Here's the thousandths place. You're going to circle here, which there's nothing there, which means nothing's going to change. This 8's going to stay the same. You keep everything in the front. So there it is, rounded to the nearest thousandths. That's definitely not it. Okay? So the only answer choice that makes sense is rounding this number to the nearest tenths place, and you end up with this, which is the same thing as 1.5. So our answer is G.